Silenzio, Bruno. Welcome back, guys. Episode 186. In the Disney Pixar film, awesome, if you haven't seen it, Luca, two main characters are in a little bit of a discussion. And one of them is extremely nervous about something. And the other one is telling him, Silenzio, Bruno, and is teaching him this kind of a phraseology to be able to silence his inner negative thoughts, to allow and support yourself, or himself in this case, in decisions that make his heart happy, to push your mind to the side and to support yourself in what you know on the other side will be something that you enjoy. Silenzio, Bruno is actually something here in the Salsa Kings organization that we have developed as a culture, as naturally we all find ourselves where our ego kind of takes over and we are quick to forfeit or give up simply because we are afraid to lose. Very normal. Very, very normal. I challenge every single one of you to, when you're in doubt, to shout out Silenzio, Bruno. If you have not read the amazing book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, go ahead and look that up. If you do physical book or audio book, definitely one that changed my life, especially when it comes to something as challenging as your dance journey. This can definitely be daunting, as you'll go to a social and you'll see so many others that can seem so incredibly talented that it may be outside of what you feel is within your realm of possibility, which of course naturally is not true. We want to be able to always understand that even though we may have to work a little bit harder than others, that everything is absolutely within our realm of possibility, depending, of course, on what you're willing to sacrifice in exchange for it. In this book, Power of Your Subconscious Mind, it talks about, quite literally, the idea that our brain, which processes everything that we do and interprets, is probably a better fit for the example I'm about to give, interprets all of the data that we are collecting via our senses. That's our ears and what we hear. And we hear, of course, everything that we say. That also includes our smell, our sight, our touch, our taste, etc. So when we say things out loud like, I'm not good enough, the brain is inside the skull, inside your head. It can't see what's going on out here in the physical world. So anything that you tell it, anything that you say, it's going to believe it is true. That is the power of your subconscious mind. It will make a reality out of the things that you say. And also, of course, how you view things as well. And of course, on every other way. So our ability to practice Silenzio, Bruno, our ability to be able to shape our own perspectives, is quite literally shaping our lives. I can look at somebody on the dance floor and be belittled. I can look at somebody on the dance floor and be inspired. I'm looking at the same thing. Oftentimes, we're in a shared experience and everyone has their own story attached to it. Classic telephone game example that we played when we were little kids. As we hear the same data, it becomes a little bit shifted as the story is continued to be told. How are we perceiving this? How are we choosing to perceive this? The ultimate question here is, are you on your own team? Are you watering the grass or are you watering the leaves? Us being afraid to lose is quite literally robbing us of our potential. On the dance floor, in the classroom, in our relationships, whether they're with our significant others, with family members. Sometimes those are even the hardest ones to deal with, right? As these are not relationships that we choose. These are ones that they are oftentimes the biggest teachers that we can have, whether they're direct or what I like to call shadow teachers. Are we viewing that from a dark perspective? Are we seeing it negatively? Or can we shift it and be grateful for all of the things that they taught us in ways that perhaps we wouldn't have liked to be taught? However, taught nonetheless. It's just a perspective shift at the end of the day. Repetition is the mother of all learning. If we are not able to have the courage to lose or to have the possibility of losing, right? Then we will never be able to take the experiences in which that we can learn from those losses. I think there's so many trending items nowadays. Trending is trending. Like it's getting very instant, and life is simply not this way. Dance is simply not this way. It is very much in the present moment, and it evolves over time. To think in miracles all the time, and it's like, oh, I shoot once and I got lucky and it went viral or whatever. these kind of quick, instant, $1 million ideas on your first one. Like, that's not how it works, guys. I know that that's the way that the culture is making it seem. That's the way social media is making it seem. Newsflash, that's just to get you to click. That person, that ideology, all of that is just clickbait to get you to look, to get you to buy. All of those things, if it came, todo lo que sube tiene que caer. And the faster it rises, the faster it falls. Simply because principle, at the end of the day, growth, evolution, requires time and oftentimes hard work, facing our inner demons, challenging ourselves to grow and become new people, where on the other side is truly where you'll be able to actually enjoy and reap these benefits of that hard work. Some of you know, some of you don't. I started this at the ripe age of 19. I am on the eve of my 37th birthday. And I am so grateful, even though there were so many rough nights. Maybe we'll talk about that another day, of how I wish results were coming sooner. And all it was a continued humility process. And that there's a very real understanding that any and all results that have not yet been achieved is simply because I'm not ready. And that awareness is a complete perspective shift on, it's like, okay, what more do I need to know? What more do I need to challenge? How much faster can I get through these losses so that I can learn it faster, so that I can get to where it is that I need to go? So all of those inner negative thoughts, SILENZIO, BRUNO, because all it's doing is slowing you down from those results that you want to get on the dance floor, in your relationships, in your work. Don't allow your brain, that's inside your skull, that's inside your head. It's dark in there. It has no idea. All it does, which is it's perfect for, is because it can't see, it's just letting you know of the things that you should be aware of, what things to look out for, but never to slow you down or never to stop you, even worse. But to be mindful, of course, in that knowledge and in that wisdom, to keep those things in mind as you proceed, but never, ever to prevent you from moving forward. Again, repetition is the mother of all learning, and as you go about doing that, you become insanely, drastically more confident. And as a matter of fact, your mind may even be telling you more things that to be looking out for as you've gone through these experiences. But again, the confidence, of course, is now shaping those red flags more so as something to be grateful for. Thank you for allowing me to see what to look out for when approaching these new scenarios and circumstances. It's the ego that prevents us from moving forward. We don't want to be in that state of embarrassment, right? Of having lost. Oh, but what do I tell my friends? What do I tell my family? Familia. If they have time to criticize you, they're not doing their own things. Silenzio, Bruno. There's a lot of talking and not enough doing. There's a lot that can be learned instead of talking about it, being actually on the dance floor, getting more reps in. And of course, by default, the more you get in the ring, the more you're going to lose. But you're also going to win more as well. Are you watering the grass or are you watering the weeds? Then there's the perspective, of course, is, oh, well, I've done that before. I've lost. It doesn't work. I challenge you to reflect inward. Perhaps you weren't ready. Perhaps there were things that you didn't keep in mind. Perhaps there were things that you didn't know, which is often the case. And what we often find is that people are wearing raincoats because it rained yesterday. Today is a new day, familia. There's so much room. There's so much room to learn and to grow. And the only thing that's preventing you from taking that step is your ability to swallow a loss. Silenzio, Bruno. You can do it. Maybe not this time. Maybe not the next time. Maybe not when you're 19. Maybe not when you're 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I can keep counting. But I think you guys understand. What are you willing to trade? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because if it is too much work, or if it is too much, well, then perhaps what you're going after, you're just not that interested in. And that's when we talk about everything else and a lot of the other episodes that we mentioned in the past, right? Who are you and what do you want? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice, if you're not willing to go all the way, if there is no passion there, newsflash, anything that's going to have any kind of real success is going to require a lot of sacrifice. And even though you may receive results even instantly and you think that you found a winner, trust me, there is still a lot to be learned. Because again, what grows fast dies fast. So I need you to keep all of those things in mind and use all of those resources to be able to sustain that, as that may be now the new daunting task that lies ahead. But there's always something. And then, of course, the second that, let's say, your success begins to dip, there's a million thoughts that would rush into your head. Your brain starts to go off. Red flag, red flag. Silenzio, Bruno. What do we need to learn from here? What do we need to learn from this so that you could proceed moving forward? I hope this makes sense, guys. Oftentimes, again, we are our own worst enemy. And to have simply a perspective shift. If you don't like what you see, change the lens. With that, if you are able to silence your Bruno, your inner negative thoughts, you will be able to quickly find the courage to be able to step forward and lean into all of those things that can make your heart happy. I hope to see you guys all on Miami Salsa Cruise the last week of February in 2026. It's an absolute blast. 7 days, 6 nights this time above the Carnival celebration. Correction, the Carnival Horizon, which now we have a larger Havana room for more dancing, and for all of you that are continuing to participate with us year after year. Shout out to all of you sailors and salseros that join us each and every year. Thank you guys so much. Episode 186, Silencio Bruno. Andres Fernandez signing out.